What are your thoughts on Candace Owens' assertions that Israel may be involved in Charlie Kirk's death? First off, I would never take a damn thing Candace Owens says seriously. I would not ever in a million years consider her a credible source. But I have noticed a lot of people who are kind of talking her up over the last couple of days after she said a few things about Charlie Kirk's death. Now, I think it's interesting that Candace Owens, like, she's clearly grieving, right? She clearly cared for Charlie. It's a little bit wild that the man that she says is her best friend literally said that Black women are less intelligent than white men. But I do think her grief over his death is sincere. I think she's absolutely using it to make content. But even more than that, I think that this is a moment in time where Candace Owens is saying something that is palatable to a number of people on the left, especially people who really care about Palestinians. And that Candace Owens will use that to try to radicalize people for the alt-right. First, let's watch what she said, and then I have some more thoughts because this is very similar to the kind of response I was seeing a number of weeks ago around Marjorie Taylor Greene when it came to saying that she didn't want to fund the Iron Dome in Israel.
Bibi Netanyahu in that phone call, what took place was a couple of weeks ago before Charlie lost his life. Charlie was in the Hamptons and he had more than one event, but he had essentially what was staged, an intervention was staged by Bill Ackman, because Charlie's rational thoughts about Israel were a no-no. This is not the route that you should be going on. And Charlie was surrounded by his friends, his quote-unquote friends. Bill Ackman was very upset, and threats were made. That is what I am told, and I will tell you that I am very happy for Bill Ackman to dispute this narrative. In fact, he was asked to dispute this narrative. Max Blumenthal went out to him today, and Bill Ackman came back and said, I have receipts I can show you, and he did not provide the receipts. This is not how it went down. I know it went down this way. I'm waiting for one of them to go on record and to say that it didn't go down this way. It was at this time that Bibi Netanyahu was called and Charlie was invited to Israel. This was an under duress situation, I'd say, because I've been in these situations before. When I started asking very sensible questions about Israel, as someone who had dedicated her political life to supporting Israel, many times alongside Charlie Kirk, I was met with the very same pressure. And just like Charlie was being invited to Israel, I was invited somewhere else. And when this arrived to me, it felt like a threat. I gotta tell you that. It felt like a threat. Not like, hey, come here and we can educate you because you're my friend. More like, this is your last chance. That's how it felt to me. I can't speak to how it felt to Charlie. And I know that Charlie was offered a ton of money in this moment. A ton of money. Bibi would fund it, spend tons of money. And Turning Point, I guess, if it needed to go to a higher level, would have gone to an even higher level than it already was at. And I know for a fact that Charlie denied that funding. That Charlie denied, and what Bibi didn't include there, he declined to go to Israel for, I would describe this as like, re-education camp, seen it. You made an uh-oh, but we can help you. We just need you to come out to Auschwitz and take a picture. Yeah. We just need you to come to the Holocaust Museum and take a photo. We just need you to go to Israel, and we can make this better. Charlie said no to Bibi. Okay. Bill Ackman, if you would like to dispute that, I would love to hear what you say happened.
Now, let's be clear. There are other people on the right who are hinting at similar claims, right? Steve Bannon insinuating that the text messages that have been ascribed to Tyler Robinson seem sus. And maybe he's like a fall guy or something. Candace Owens is the only one I have seen explicitly saying she thinks this was a hit put out by Bibi Netanyahu. And I see a lot of people on the left who understand the level at which, Bibi has bought allegiance, AIPAC has bought allegiance in our government. The tremendous amount of money that they funnel into the United States, the tremendous amount of influence that they have over what happens in the US. And I have gotten so many DMs and several comments of people being like, what do you think about what Candace is saying? Y'all, Again, this reminds me very much of when Marjorie Taylor Greene said that, put forth her amendment to stop funding the Iron Dome in Israel. A stopped clock is right twice a day. I saw too many people jump to be like, oh, Marjorie Taylor Greene is a better ally to Palestinians than like AOC is or whatever. Marjorie Taylor Greene doesn't give two shits about Palestinians, y'all. She hates Israel. She's an isolationist. She doesn't want funding to go to any foreign nation. She's deeply, deeply anti-Semitic. She's not an ally to the Palestinian people, y'all. She is not somebody that we should be working with and partnering with. You cannot partner with her. But I saw so many people that were like ready to jump on that Marjorie Taylor Greene train, y'all, after she said that. And please understand, I think that very much that is what is happening here with Candace Owens. People on the left who care very much about stopping the genocide in Palestine. And it has been declared that, by the way. I want to talk about that in the next video. People who care very much about saving the lives of Palestinian people are, I think, a little bit overly anxious to want to listen when these folks on the far right say things that are critical of Israel. They're not saying those things for the same reason you or I might. They're not criticizing Israel for the same reason you or I might. They're doing it because they're deeply anti-Semitic. Candace Owens, she's deeply anti-Semitic. There's a reason Ben Shapiro fired her, and it's because she's anti-Semitic. She doesn't care about the Palestinian people, but she's saying things that get people on the left listening. And I'm telling you guys, this is an alt-right pipeline. This right here is about getting you, first of all, I think it is definitely about her processing her grief and venting her rage. And of course, who's she angry at? Jewish people, Israel in specific. And this is also at the same time about reaching an audience and seeing if they can get sucked down the alt-right pipeline. There are a lot of folks on the far right who really, really, really hate Israel. And they think that they can capture all of those people who care deeply about the Palestinian people and be like, oh, we have a shared enemy or whatever. This is a pathway to get radicalized for the alt-right. This is an alt-right pipeline. Please do not be fooled. Please don't start watching Candace Owens and talking her up. You know who else fucking hates Israel? Nick Fuentes. You want to talk him up next? I know this person is not saying that they're talking up Candace Owens, but I just want to caution you all here. Be aware of what's happening. There are God knows how many alt-right pipelines in the United States. The right is really, really good at taking people and being like, well, how can we funnel them over to our side? What's the messaging that will connect with them? Maybe it is the wellness, culture. Maybe it's incel culture. Maybe it's gym bro culture. Maybe it's crunchy mom culture. Maybe it's we care about ending genocides culture. Y'all, in the United States, if there's something that you care about, I guarantee you there is somebody trying to make an alt-right pipeline out of it. Anti-vax to alt-right pipeline, vegan to alt-right pipeline, fitness culture to alt-right pipeline. I mean, we could just, y'all, please be aware of when something that somebody on the right presents to you strikes you as like, oh, you know what? Maybe this sounds reasonable. Please let that large set of alarm bells start going off. Like a whole chorus of alarm bells should be going off in your head. How am I being radicalized right now? How are they attempting to radicalize me right now? The right is going to use every situation to grift off of you, and they certainly are going to use every situation to attempt to radicalize you. So no, I don't give a shit what Candace Owens has to say. I'm not listening to her. I'm sorry that her friend died, and I know that she's grieving. She sure is using that as a chance to be anti-Semitic, and she sure is going to use that as a chance to try and suck you into watching her content and becoming converted to her way of thinking. Keep an eye out for those alt-right pipelines.